Well, these guys should be pretty happy and at peace that their phones aren't going to be blown up for a while, to say the least. So they don't need to see like hundreds and hundreds of text messages, you know, just piling up on their phones, on their screens every single day. And I know they're all tired of that. I get it, which is why I did myself a favor earlier this morning to just let them be. Now, in case if they're wondering, I don't know, and better yet, I don't care, because it's official to me that, I'm just gonna let them be, and I'm not gonna have any further communication with any of my remaining friends. And yes, this includes Mari too, believe it or not. Last year I only left her behind, I only left a couple, including her, but this time she's out of it too. So until further notice, man. But here's what at least I'm still gonna be doing the hangout, the basketball game, my game 11 of the shoot around season finals. That's still gonna be in the works, as well as celebrating Russ's birthday. Okay, me, Russ, and Neil, or Eugene. Yeah, me, Russ, and Eugene are still gonna do that next week. However, that does not mean, I can do these hangouts as far as like, only limitations, just kind of like before. When it comes to my last day of the month, when it's necessary to have a friend, and because of my ongoing streak, or if it's somebody's birthday like Russ's. So in this case, for the sake of this month, I'll be fair to still celebrate Russ's birthday with Eugene, as well as my game 11 of the shoot around season finals game. And after that, we just go about our own ways. And I'm not going to talk to them like, on text after that. I'll send them pictures, but after that, that's it. I'm not going to be just that's what I mean when I say I'm not going to talk to any of these guys until further notice. So as for the other guys, like, that whoever's remaining on my friend circle, I'm just not going to talk to them, period. Russ can talk to those other guys if he wants to, whatever he wants to talk about, movies, sports, as he always does, and whatever's going on. I'm not going to be engaged. So I'm going to make it real clear that I'm not going to be talking like that anymore. That's what I mean when I say I'm not going to talk to any of these guys until further notice. So again, for the sake of this month, I am still going to be doing Russ's and Russ's birthday. I'm sure Neil will come along, and if it's just us three, or I don't know who else is coming along, maybe a boss, we'll see. But for the most part, I'm still gonna be able to celebrate Russ's birthday, and that's that. And as well as the last day of the month, those are the only two hangouts that I care about. That's it. So, as of right now, I held off everyone, and I literally mean everyone. Okay. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna be doing what I'm doing, and with what I'm going through still, and especially after what transpired in almost a month. I mean, it's still just it does make me feel so bitter just knowing that the vibes have just not been the same here at home, and what have you. It's just nothing's operating the same between me and some other family members. I'm just gonna go with the general consensus of saying family members instead of specific specific family members and who are involved in this incident. Like to this day, like just being here, I am always thinking about wanting to move out, but I can't. That's the reality because it's very expensive in California, and I just even hate to admit the reality that just everything around here is so expensive as far as paying monthly rent or yearly rent. You know what I mean? It's I just that's why I'm going through a real depressing life right now. And I just feel bad. I feel bad that all these guys, even to a point where Nathan had to tell me that, he missed texts from his own wife, his own boss, his own family because of my 300 plus texts. Now, I know he's just over exaggerating to say 300 plus, but the point is it's a million texts that everybody has seen. Carlos is fed up, Nathan's fed up, Ray's pretty sure fed up, a boss, everybody. That's why I'm giving them their peace, and they should be happy that they're never going to see their phones getting blown up for a while, ever again. They won't. So as far as communication is concerned, as far as talking, I am not going to talk to them until further notice. I won't. With the exception of just doing these hangouts, me celebrating Russ's birthday along with Neil and whoever else comes along, and the last day of the month, whoever can come. And so that's just that. I'm not after our hangouts, we just go on with our own business, and I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking to them again. That's just how it's gonna work. It's gonna operate differently. Yeah, I'll talk to these guys during the hangouts. They've always seen me at my best during hangouts. But as Eugene said, for some reason on group chats, it's always been about problems, right? So, after we're done hanging out, and whoever I hang out with, whether it's those guys or a boss or Carlos, you know what? We're just gonna have a good time. Once we go home, I'm gonna let them be. I am not talking to them at all, except if I just send pictures to them and what have you, or if some of these guys tell me that they're missing their items from the car or what have you, from my car, if they left anything on accident, then fine. Those are like the only exceptions. But when it comes to talking, I am not gonna talk to them. So like I said, I'm just going about my own business. Just being away from these guys, and even after hangouts. So it's like you're clocking in to go to work just to work and communicate with your coworkers to see what the work tasks are, help each other out, get the job done. And once you clock out of work and you're ready to go home, just go about your own business, and that's that. That's exactly how I'm going to do it with all these hangouts going forward. And when it comes to hangouts, it's for me, with the exception of whoever's birthday is around. Let's say the next birthday is going to be Ray after Russ, and then obviously Eugene, and then Carlos, right? Oh yeah, and the boss as well. Then it's just pretty much the only hangout I need to worry about is just the last day of the month. All the other hangouts I'm going to do going forward by myself. That's it. Even with my Knott's annual pass or my Six Flags annual pass, I'm just going to go by myself. And I'm just going to make it clear. I know Carlos has a pass. He can go with someone else. But I'm just going by myself. Point blank, period. The only other hangouts I need to worry about is my ongoing streak of last day of the month hangouts with a friend or more. So that's the only thing that I can bring a friend along. That's it. Whatever we do, it only is going to happen on that last day of the month. And breakfast only, Russ made it clear he's going to forget about it. So forget about it. That shit's been canceled for good. So I'm not needing to worry about that at all anymore. I mean, it's Russ's choice. He don't want to do a breakfast only no more. I don't know about Carlos. If both of those guys want to forget breakfast only, fine with me. I just took care that the only hangout I'm going to be doing as an exception, when it comes to talking to friends, is the last day of the month. That's it. The last day of the month, because my streak is still going at 47 straight. And for as long as that keeps going, then yeah, that'll be my only exception when it comes to talking to friends, or just spending time with them. Otherwise, if this streak is broken, then there's no point just hanging out with any more friends on the last day of the month if the streak is broken. So yeah, man, I just leave it at that. In the meantime, I'm still gonna be doing what I'm doing, especially when it comes to posting my quote unquote mindless videos. Yeah. So some of these guys may still see my videos. Fine. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. However they feel, fine. I'm sure those guys have busy lives, and I know I got busy. I need to get busy just trying to change my life and all that. So, for the most part, they got things to do. I got things to do. We all have our lives, and that's just that. I mean, some of those guys have their own problems to fix. I got my own problems to fix. So I'm doing all those guys a favor and myself a favor. Just giving them their peace and giving myself my own peace. So, like I said, they're not going to see me. They're not going to see any more texts like pile up texts. Just a burden of texts just all over their phones every single day from 24/7. That's done and over with. It's over. So they're gonna mind their own business. I'm minding my own business. So I'm making it clear I'm not talking to them anymore. Okay? I'm not talking to any of these guys anymore until further notice, except when it comes to doing these hangouts of my last day of the month, and in the case of this month, Russ's birthday. So I'm saying it again. All right. So, however some of these guys feel, if they still want to watch some of my videos, great. If they don't, whatever. So, I know that I had to block some people. I'm not going to mention no names in here, but I just don't want to see any of their criticisms anymore either. I don't, because my mental health has been in serious decline. So, I hope those people understand. Some of them may not. I don't give a fuck at this point. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Some of these guys may still see my videos. Okay, fine. But I want to see what they think. If they ever see this video, if they ever do. I mean, that's the only way they're going to keep up with me if they decide to. Since I held them off. You know what I'm saying? So peace out. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe.